morning. Skeeter and I are heading east to Grand Marais. We're heading into the Boundary Waters Wilderness area in northern Minnesota. We're heading quite a ways in there. Everything we bring in has to be carried or paddled in a canoe. All right, just gonna stop in here, grab our permit, and we'll be on our way. Well, here's the put in. We got to paddle quite a ways out onto the main part of this lake. So right now we're right here. I got to paddle out, around, down into this bay, and we start off with a 1 mile long portage. And I'll show you where we're headed once we get to the other side of this portage, because I want to get that out of the way right away. Come here, hop in. Hop in. Good boy. Here's our portage. So this is the route we're taking. This is where we parked and put in right here. So I paddled this. I'm right here on this portage. So this is a mile long into Meads Lake. We're gonna take this, paddle across this, down into Shallow Lake, down into Pillsbury Lake, come around Henson Lake, paddle across that, portage into Omega, and then portage down into Winchell. And this is where I'm hoping to make it tonight, is down into Winchell. But first things first, we gotta tackle this beast. There it is, the water. All right, well that concludes the longest portage of the trip. Whoa. The longest, most difficult portage of the trip is over, so got it over with right away. It'll all be worth it when we make it to Winchell tonight though. There you go, bud. All right. So I don't think we're gonna have any problem reaching Winchell tonight. It's afternoon now, but we'll probably get there 5 maybe, right around dinner time, which will be perfect because get the tent set up, get some firewood, cook dinner, and then just hang out. Well, here we are. This is Swallow Lake. Kind of narrow. It's pretty long that way, but I like these small lakes like this. You don't have to worry about the wind as much. But I'm gonna head back and grab the canoe. I think I'm just gonna double portage most of these. If they're shorter, then I'll single portage them, but that pack's a little heavier than I thought. Kind of like doubling back anyways, because then when you're not carrying anything, you actually get to enjoy the portage, you know, instead of having a canoe on your head or carrying a pack. Kind of a cool little creek coming across the portage. First moose sign. So I am miles in here at this point, and I haven't seen a soul. Nobody at any of the campsites on any of the lakes, nobody on the portages. And where I parked the van, there's 3 different entry points that you can get to from that spot, and there was 2 cars there. So I don't think there's a whole lot of people in here right now. And I think a lot of people have canceled their permits because of the high water levels and portage conditions and things like that. But so far, the portages aren't too bad. I mean, they're, you know, there's some pretty pretty wet spots, and a lot of it's like this, just mud, but definitely doable. All right, Pillsbury Lake. Going that way. Then our next portage is up there somewhere. Off we go into Hazel or Hensel or something like that. Have to look at the map. Okay, so it's called Henson is the name of the lake. And we have quite a paddle. It's kind of a really long, narrow lake, almost like a river really, so shouldn't have to worry about any wind. Still haven't seen anybody. Yeah, long paddle, and then I think we're into Omega Lake, I believe, and then one more portage after that into Winchell. So it's not even 3 yet, so I should be to Winchell by about 5. But we made it to Omega Lake. Yeah, this is pretty nuts. You can see how high the water is. Got basically a little river running on the portage, draining down into Henson Lake. Beautiful, scenic Omega Lake. I'm gonna come out here, take a left, paddle that way a little bit, and then I have one more portage, and we are at our destination. Last portage of the day. Lake Winchell. Well, Skeeter and I got ourselves a campsite. Well, this is why we came here. Beautiful lake. Nice vistas. Well, that was a nice little journey in here today. I think I'm gonna set up my camp chair, hang out a bit, start cutting up some firewood and have a little campfire, eat some dinner. Might throw a couple casts from shore here, we'll see. Well, camp's pretty much set up. I wanted to set up right here on the water so I can have that view, because the bugs are pretty bad. So if Skeeter and I get tired of the bugs and want to go hang out inside the tent, we still have a view of the lake, which is nice. Yeah, check this out. This is pretty cool. It's like a little cave down in here. Well, I decided I'm not going to have a campfire. I'm going to skip the fire tonight. The wind kind of picks up here and there, and kind of getting tired. I think I'm just gonna go kind of hang out inside the tent for a bit, and I'll save that wood for tomorrow morning for heating up my coffee water. I think it's coffee time. We want that hitter this morning. Might even put more in. So here's the plan for today. So again, yesterday we parked there, paddled this way, down into Meads, across Meads, down into Swallow, down into Pillsbury, over, down into Henson, and then Henson was that long paddle across, and then into Omega Lake, and then I came here into Winchell, and I'm camped right here at this first campsite. So you look at the lake right now, you know, this is a big lake. I have to paddle 4 miles across it. It goes out and then out that way, but it's pretty calm right now, so I want to get this lake over with while it's calm like this. So I'll leave here. This is about a 4-mile paddle across Winchell. It's a big lake. And then I'll portage into Gaskin. I just have a portage into Caribou, a couple short portages into Poplar, back to the vehicle. So typically on a solo trip like this, I would just hammock it, and that would have saved some weight. But with Skeeter with, you know, you can't have him just roaming around at night, so I like the fact that he's enclosed and I know where he's at, not running after stuff, you know. Okay, Skeeter, hop in. Good boy. What a pretty lake. Well, we're eating up the miles. We're probably halfway across the lake already. Had a little bit of a headwind, but then once I turned the corner, it died down, so making pretty good time. I think I see our portage right there. Well, so long, Lake Winchell. Beautiful lake. Wish I could have had a little bit more time on it, but there's an easier way to get here. You can come in from the south. You enter at Brule Lake, and then I think it's a couple lakes, couple portages, and then you're here. But so I kind of took the longer route, but I want to do this loop because I haven't been in this area before, so that's why I came in this way. All right. I think it's a little less than a 1/4 mile portage into Gaskin, so we'll head that way. Hop in. Good boy. So paddled all the way across Winchell, portage into Gaskin here, just about done paddling Gaskin. Haven't seen a soul again. So I've seen one other group in all the miles we've traveled so far. Once we get into Horseshoe, I'm sure there's got to be a group or two camping there. Pretty popular area and really good fishing, so. Horseshoe Lake. The next portage is just right there, so short little paddle, and then I think 2 more portages, and then that big lake to cross, and we're home. But yeah, this is what it's been. Just muddy portages. So this is Liz Lake here, so get across this lake, then there's one last portage into Poplar Lake, which is the lake that I put in, but I got to paddle quite a ways across it. So what a trip that was. We covered a lot of miles in a short amount of time. Sierra was gone for a couple days teaching dance, so I figured it's a perfect time for me and Skeeter to head in there. It was my first summer trip of the year, so the plan going forward here is I'm actually going to head to the new property coming up and start tearing down that trailer. It'll probably take a few days to get that torn down and hauled to the dump and all that. And then once that's out of there, I can start building the new cabin, which I'm really excited about. But I hope you all had a good 4th of July, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.